You know when a big company like Nippon Life drops their annual report, the integrated report, it's just uh, packed with stuff.
Yeah, dense.
Right. And you're probably thinking, okay, just give me the highlights, the important bits, without wading through it all.
Exactly. Cut to the chase.
Well, that's what we're doing today. We've got their 2024 report here. And our mission, basically, is to pull out the key trends, their growth plans, and how they're looking to create value. Think of it as your quick guide.
And it's interesting because Nippon Life isn't just life insurance, right? They're into long-term care, asset management, healthcare, even childcare. It's quite broad.
Yeah, really wide scope. So we'll get a good picture of how a major player is navigating things.
Definitely, both in Japan and increasingly globally.
Okay, so let's dive in, starting with their core, life insurance. I mean, the elephant in the room in Japan has to be the declining population, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge challenge. But interestingly, Nippon Life doesn't just see it as, fewer customers.
Oh, how are they framing it?
They see it more as a shift in needs. People might need different things now beyond just a traditional payout. Things like help with managing risks proactively or building assets for the long term.
Ah, okay. So adapting the product or service mix, that makes sense. Now, they also talk about sales productivity dipping.
Yeah, they mention a few reasons, like the long period of deflation hitting household budgets, maybe companies being stricter about access.
And more dual-income households making those face-to-face meetings harder.
Exactly, all those factors combined. So their answer seems to be this kind of hybrid approach.
Hybrid. You mean mixing digital and in-person?
Precisely. Combining face-to-face the traditional way with more digital tools, they apparently pushed hard on this during the pandemic.
Right. Force of necessity, maybe.
Probably. But they acknowledge building those strong relationships online isn't, automatic. It takes work and the right systems. They're trying to find that balance.
Okay, evolving customer contact. Makes sense. Now, looking outwards, what about their global plans? They seem pretty ambitious there.
Very ambitious. It looks like a two-pronged strategy. First, beefing up their existing businesses in Asia where they see long-term growth potential.
Okay, build on existing strengths.
Right. And second, pursuing some major M&A, especially in developed countries. Looking for stable earnings, probably in insurance and asset management.
And that Corebridge deal fits into that second part, I guess.
Absolutely. That agreement to acquire an interest in Corebridge is a big signal. It's their way into the U.S. life insurance market, a major play.
Getting a foothold in the U.S., that's significant. Does it suggest a shift, maybe taking on more risk or looking beyond Asia?
I think so. It suggests diversification, tapping into mature markets, not just high-growth ones, spreading the risk, perhaps.
And they're putting serious money behind this, right?
Oh, yeah. The report mentions planning to invest over 2 trillion yen over the next 3 years.
Wow, 2 trillion.
Yeah, for both domestic and global business strengthening, but they explicitly say global investment is a priority. They want a central pillar for their global business. That kind of number really shows their commitment.
No kidding. Okay, huge global push. What about internally? They mentioned transforming business processes. What's that about? AI and digital?
Pretty much using tech, digital tools, AI to streamline how things work. Life insurance contracts are long, complex.
And dealing with claims or changes can be intricate, I imagine.
Exactly. So the goal is to automate more of that, digitize it, freeing up their employees for, the more complex, maybe creative or customer-facing work.
Right.
Improving the experience, too, hopefully.
Right, efficiency gains,
Mm-hmm.
which probably connects to their new midterm plan for 2024 to 2026.
It does. The theme is quite customer-centric. Over-deliver on customer expectations and offering peace of mind and reach out to a larger community of customers.
Catchy. What are the main pillars of that plan?
There are 5. 1, boost the value of their domestic insurance business. 2,
Yeah.
offer more multidimensional peace of mind, domestically so, broader services.
They expand the offering at home.
3, the global expansion we just talked about. 4, advancing their financial strategy, making sure the numbers work. And 5, just strengthening the overall business foundation.
That phrase, multidimensional peace of mind, keeps coming up.
Uh-huh.
How do they actually deliver that? It sounds a bit abstract.
Well, the idea seems to be moving beyond just financial payouts,
Mhm.
covering asset management, healthcare support, long-term care advice, even childcare links, becoming more of a life partner, maybe.
A broader support system.
And they tie this into their long-term vision, aiming to be that provider across all these different areas.
This is a very holistic approach.
It is, and they know they need the right people for it. They talk a lot about human development, wanting employees with conviction, sincerity, endeavor, and transformation.
So cultivating the internal culture to match the external ambition.
Exactly. You need the right team and mindset for such a big shift.
Okay, strategy makes sense. Let's shift to the numbers. What were the key financial takeaways from fiscal year 2023?
All right, so for FY23, the group's value of new business came in at $326 billion. Core operating profit was $764 billion.
Solid numbers. What about income?
Insurance and service income for the group hit $8.8888 trillion. And a key metric, the annualized premium in force for the domestic group.
That's like the total yearly premium value of current policies.
Basically, yes. That stood at $4.7563 trillion at the end of March 2024. It shows the scale, the stability of the existing book of business.
Got it. And the new midterm plan includes financial targets too, right, for growth and stability.
Yes, specific targets. But they also acknowledge that performance recovery is still a work in progress.
Why is that, despite the digital push?
They mentioned some headwinds, challenges in recruitment and training their sales force, apparently, and maybe slower sales of pure coverage products. So the hybrid approach is still bedding in, perhaps.
Okay, so still some execution challenges. How are they planning to hit those targets then?
Well, they're looking to grow earnings in areas like corporate insurance and group annuities, helping companies with things like human capital management needs.
Ah, the B2B side.
Right. And also expanding digital channels further, building on things like the Nippon Life brand, which seems to have done well.
So specific targets.
Yeah, they're aiming for $4.5 trillion in annualized premiums in force, 14.4 million customers, and a group company net income of $70.0 billion. Ambitious, but laid out.
Okay. Now, value creation. Since Nippon Life is a mutual company, it's not about shareholder dividends in the usual way, is it?
Correct. No traditional shareholders. Their focus is the policyholders, so profits are returned as policyholder dividends.
Like a payout to the members.
Exactly. Think of it like a co-op. And the big news here is they plan to increase the target payout ratio for these dividends.
Oh, really? By how much?
They're aiming to go from the current level of around 50% of relevant profits up to about 60%. Starting from the FY 2024 results.
So a bigger slice of the pie going back to policyholders.
Yes, and they're linking it directly to growth in their core operating profit. If profits go up, the dividend pool should go up, and policyholders get a larger percentage of it.
Can you quickly explain how that works? Why do they have surplus to distribute?
Sure. When they set premiums, they make long-term assumptions about investment returns, how long people might live, claim rates, etc.
Educated guesses, essentially.
Right, based on data. But actual experience over decades can be different. If things turn out better than assume, say, investments do better or costs are lower, a surplus is generated.
And that surplus can be paid back out.
To eligible policyholders with participating policies, yes. For FY 2023, they said dividends were stable, helped by steady results on death coverage products and interest margins, even if investment yields dipped a bit.
Okay, that makes sense. So looking ahead, wrapping things up, what's your overall take on where Nippon Life is headed?
Well, one thing that stands out is this strong emphasis on balancing sustainability for society with their own business sustainability.
How so?
They talk about focusing on contributions related to people, community, and environment. And importantly, they've set actual measurable targets for these sustainability goals.
So not just talk, they're tracking progress.
Seems like it. Allows stakeholders to see how they're doing. They even launched a company-wide campaign, the Nissay Sustainability Project, to get everyone involved.
Interesting. Integrating it deeply. What else is key for their future?
Definitely the focus on their own people, human capital, better pay, revised HR systems, pushing diversity and inclusion. That seems crucial, especially if recruitment has been a challenge.
Addressing those internal headwinds we mentioned.
Exactly. And of course, the continuous push on digital transformation and using AI. The insurance world is changing fast. They need to keep adapting.
So it all comes back to that core idea.
Yeah, that goal of providing multidimensional peace of mind, trying to be relevant and supportive in many aspects of people's lives, contributing to a society where, as they put it, everyone can live their lives with peace of mind.
Right. So quick summary. Nippon Life is adapting to Japan's demographics by broadening services, going big on global expansion, pushing hard on digital, and boosting payouts to policyholders, all under that banner of peace of mind.
That covers the key strategic directions, yeah.
It leaves you wondering, though, how does a huge established institution like this, a legacy player, how do they really balance that history and stability with the need for pretty radical innovation and aggressive global moves today. It's a massive challenge.
It really is. That tension between the old and the new, stability and disruption, especially in finance and insurance, it's something many large companies are grappling with. What does it mean long term for them and for their customers?
Definitely food for thought. And if you want to dig even deeper into Nippon Life's plans and numbers, that full integrated report 2024 is where you'll find all the details.
For sure.
Okay, that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.